Hey, Carla, this is T. Did you want us to type it in or did you want us to talk to you?
Well, girl, guess what? They told me you would be muted, so I thought you would have to type it in, but I see you got through the screening. So, yes, can you type that in?
I sure can.
Because I think everyone but you is muted.
I'm not muted either.
I'm not muted
Well, go
either.
ahead and tell me then. Go ahead and I
Okay.
really like audio, but
I like
Okay.
audio.
we're doing the chat. So if you can get something out. So where are you from?
Carla, I'm not from Houston, but I just recently moved here. I
Uh-huh.
moved here from Miami, Florida. And in,
Wow.
and in regards to your question pertaining to journaling, I actually journal a lot because it's therapeutic for
Yes,
me.
right.
I suffer from childhood trauma, so it allows me to get my thoughts and my feelings out. But
Yes.
then after I journal, I can tell that I'm grounded.
Yes. And you
Yeah.
feel like it's something lifted, right?
Oh yes, girl.
Whatever was heavy in you, it's lifted. And so, what happened with me and how I got into journaling, well, expressive writing, is I wrote a memoir. I'm a three-time breast cancer survivor. I had stage three. There's an Austin, Texas. Tracy, welcome. Texas is representing today. So when I first got breast cancer in 2007 at the age of 34, I decided to write a memoir about the experience. And so after I published my memoir, I realized how cathartic it was to get everything out that was, heavy on my heart because I was going through a really bad marriage at the time. And I just had an experience that I thought most people could relate to or at least enjoy reading because it was just like unbelievable. So basically what happened is I had divorced my husband and we had been separated for 5 years. I came back from Paris, France after getting my master's in business and I couldn't find a job. So after a year of searching, I found a job in the Bay Area. And that was where my ex husband was living. And I thought, after all this searching for a job, why in the world would I have found a job where my ex husband was and I haven't seen him in 5 years? So I thought it would be really weird if I ran into him at Walmart and we act like we were high school classmates or something. So I was going to reach out to him to tell him I was there. And it just so happened that I found a lump in my breast as well. So long story short, we wound up getting married again. And it wasn't right the first time, it wasn't right the second time, but I blamed the second time on post-traumatic stress disorder. I think I thought I was dying, and it seemed like a good idea to me. And none of my family was in the Bay Area. So that's why I wrote the memoir, and it was very cathartic. And fast forward 7 years, my cancer metastasized to my spine. And I wound up going to a hospital in Chicago for treatment. And I became an ambassador in one of their patient groups. And they wanted you to give back when you come for treatment and to reach out to other patients. So they had people who come and sing and play the piano or violin or whatever talent they had. And I thought, well, when I tell people that I've written a memoir, a lot of them say they would have, liked to have written a memoir, or would like to write one or started one and didn't finish and publish it. So I said, well, I should do something around writing. And I started researching how I could do something that would benefit the hospital. And I came across a book called Expressive Writing, Words That Heal. And it just explained expressive writing to me. And I've got a little PowerPoint and I'll talk to you about that. Let me see, I need to share my screen. Okay. My computer's acting slow right now. Oh, not responding. Isn't that fun? Okay, so basically, I will read it to you if my computer's not going to act right. Okay, maybe it'll act right now. Okay. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see that? Are you able to talk now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, I'm trying to put it on a PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, expressive writing is a form of therapy in which individuals write about their thoughts and, hold on, a poll just popped up, about their thoughts and feelings related to a personally stressful or traumatic life experience. Unlike communicative forms of writing, expressive writing is personal, free-flowing, and informal, often without concern for style, spelling, punctuation, or grammar. And that's from the Encyclopedia of Behavioral Medicine. And I am switching to the next page, I think. Come on. Okay, it doesn't want to do a presentation style, so we will do it this way. So benefits of expressive writing, the reason why we talk about words that heal and journaling to heal, we're not claiming anything, but they have done studies and they found out that expressive writing, who was that was talking to me about their journaling? Tell me your name again.
Oh, it was me, Karla T.
T, okay. So you can relate to this, but fewer stress-related visits to the doctor, improved immune system functioning, reduced blood pressure, improved liver and lung function, improved mood and affect, fewer days in the hospital, and it goes on and on. Feeling of greater psychological well-being. There's just so many benefits to expressive writing and just getting things off of your chest. So some tips about expressive writing are, a lot of times when I talk about journaling, people ask, how often should I journal? How often do you journal? And these kinds of things. But what you want to do is start slowly, write when you feel ready, and write when you have time, or otherwise free up some time. So you don't want to feel pressured about journaling. You want to do it when it feels right for you, and put aside some time and some quiet time where you can write. You don't want it to be a burden. So T and I can relate to, you feel a heaviness, you need to get it off your chest. That's when I journal. Some people may do it daily, and that's okay. You don't have to do it daily if you don't want to. Write continuously for an allotted time of 2 to 20 minutes. Be gentle on yourself and tune out your inner critic. Don't censor yourself, and beware of trigger points. If anything feels too much to write about, stop and try something different. Don't worry about perfection, just write. Don't worry about grammar and spelling. Keep it personal and keep it for your eyes only, except for when you're in writing through it and we decide to share. But what happens in writing through it stays in writing through it, except for when it's going on social media and being recorded. But if you feel like sharing, do so only when you're ready and with your trusted network, which is all of us here. Know when to stop and walk away. Expect to feel wiped out after writing. They say that, and maybe if you have a real traumatic experience and you're really releasing a lot, you may feel that way, but I always feel lighter when I write and get things off of my chest. A note is that writing does not replace therapy. It complements it when it's done gently, right when you have support structures in place. So that is for those who have really traumatic experiences. So when they said that expressive writing can help enhance your mood, that is very true. They've done some studies on gratitude, and I do practice gratitude because when I notice that when I'm not practicing gratitude, I'm in a really funky mood and start getting into a funk and depressed state, and I just don't like it. So I really try to practice gratitude all the time. What you focus on expands. And so that's basically the premise of practicing gratitude. If you practice gratitude, good things will feel, your energy will be better, and you'll look at things differently. So gratitude turns what we have into enough. And that is a quote that is from someone who is unknown, but I think it's a really true quote. So I like to include it in when I do writing through it and we practice gratitude. It is not happiness that brings us gratitude. It is gratitude that brings us happiness. Another unknown person who's very wise. So every time I start writing through it, I start out with gratitude. And I didn't used to do that, but I realized when I was part of the hospital that some people, you know, chronic illness or terminal illnesses, life-threatening illnesses can be very heavy, and even emotional trauma can be very heavy. And so sometimes people would come to the hospital and they weren't always in the best mood. They'd just gotten bad news about their cancer returning or their treatment not working. And so I thought, you know what? Gratitude will get us all on the same page and get our energy right. So we're going to do a little 5-minute writing. So what I normally do is give you a prompt, and then we write for 5 minutes, and then after that we share, whoever wants to share. So I'm going to play some lovely writing music for you, and hopefully you have your journals. Let me stop sharing really quick so I can see you guys. Hopefully you have your journals and your pens, and we can write for 5 minutes about what are we grateful for. Okay, so it's one of my favorite songs, Claire de Lune. Also, one note for you guys is that you don't have to write in paragraph form. You can write a list if you'd like. So whatever floats your boat.
Did you give us a prompt? Did I miss it?
Oh, yes. What are you grateful for? And you can write it in paragraph form or a list. Okay. So, who would like to share what they are grateful for?
I'll go.
Okay, who's that? Hold on, let me see if I can see who that is talking. Well, just go ahead and talk and your name will come up.
Okay, it's me, Alicia Marcina.
Okay. Hello. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Where are you from, Alicia? Alicia or Alyssa?
Alicia.
Alicia. Okay.
I'm from Durham, North Carolina.
All righty.
And so I did mine kind of poetry style, and I used the letters in the word grateful.
Wow.
So, G, grace, unmerited favor, even when I know I'm wrong. R, rhythms and music through instruments and song. A, air to breathe and working lungs. T, toys and children, because that's true fun. E, every experience, whether good or bad. F, furry little pups that cheer me when I'm sad. U, understanding friends who help me make it through. L, love and light shared between me and you.
Awesome. Did you get through? No, you were on you, right?
L, love and light. I got all the way through. U was understanding friends.
Okay. You did grateful.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you did gratitude. And I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, that was wonderful. You know, I have an exercise for us to do, but I don't think we're going to get to it. But it's just like that. And I've done it mostly with cancer patients, but I was thinking, you know, we can do it with anything like you just did. And it's just awesome. It helps us look at our situations or traumatic experiences differently, right? Because for cancer, it would be the common C that I use is compassion, because I'm more compassionate now that I've had this illness, you know what I mean? And we just kind of go through that, and it just is really fun for everybody and just really therapeutic actually too. So that was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Real quick on the chat, I saw that we have some people from, I think somebody was from Whidbey Island or familiar areas that I've lived in. I was born and raised in Seattle, and I lived in the Bay Area. So that was interesting. And what else did I see in the chat while I was Toledo, Ohio? Some people have journaled a little. Some people, I see Charla, she has some journaling experience. She's out of Atlanta, Georgia. Patty, Whidbey Island, there you go. Whidbey Island, Washington. She only journals sporadically. Shauna in Toledo, Ohio, she journals a little. And Alicia, that's you. You said you've been journaling forever. Awesome. Okay, and then I saw somebody is grateful for faith and let me see. Faith and trust in God. I can relate. Elliston Rochelle is from Canada, Toronto. Awesome. So we're international today. Let's see if
Oh my.
Who was that?
From Canada too.
Oh, awesome. Do you want to share what you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for the day and being here and Zoom groups.
Mm-hmm.
And family and friends.
Awesome.
Very short.
Oh yeah, short and sweet, to the point.
Very short and sweet. And this is my first time on here, and I don't see the person that told me about it, so I don't know where she is right now.
Okay.
She was talking about it in another group that we were just on, and yeah.
So she's missing out, but it'll be recorded, so she'll be able to go back. You can share it with her.
I wasn't sure if it was okay to come on. That's all.
Absolutely, the more the merrier. So we have time for one more quick prompt, and let me see if I can show you this one. Let me share my screen.
Hey, Karla, before you give us the prompt, I just have a quick question for you. Mm-hmm. This is T again.
Okay.
This is the person who also journals a lot. I wanted to know, could you speak to the aspect in regards to getting emotional because I'm in tears right now, and that's what like sometimes why I steer away from journaling.
Yeah.
Because I always get emotional, and I know it's a release, but I just want to know, have you experienced that, and what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, definitely. So when I did the journaling class at the hospital, we would laugh and cry all the time. I mean, you can be emotional because it's touching your heart, that with being grateful, especially that you're grateful for something. For instance, my family got COVID and it was rough, and I thought we were going to lose my sister and my brother-in-law, and that's something that would make you tear up, you know. It's something, the reason they say to be cautious of if you're really emotional is to the point where if you're emotional and you really can't help yourself, you know what I mean? And not something that you can control like you're doing right now, just crying, writing about being grateful. And some people just are more emotional than others. So you'll know if you need help, you know what I mean? Like if you need to see someone about it. But I think you're probably okay. But that is kind of what they were talking about. Like maybe if you need to seek therapy or something. So just keep that in mind for an option if you feel like it's something that's, you know, something that you can't contain or maintain or something like that. But for writing through it, we always laugh and cry. I mean, this next prompt might make you do that. And basically, what we're going to write about is what are you writing through and what does healing look like? So we don't have a whole lot of time, but this is what I'm writing through. In addition to being a stage 4 cancer survivor, I had a treatment of immunotherapy that went awry. And so I started to lose my ability to walk, and I didn't know what happened. But I knew that after I got treatment that I started to feel some different tingly sensations in my legs. And then I started dragging my right leg, and then all of a sudden I couldn't even walk on my own. And so now I've been on a walker for the past year. So that's what I'm writing through is autoimmune transverse myelitis. And what I want you to do is, I've never had computer problems like this before. This is crazy, but I'm working around them. So prompt number 2 is what are you writing through and what does healing look like? Because I believe that in order for you to obtain something, you need to be able to see it. So what does healing look like for you? So let's write about that. We'll take about 3 minutes since we're getting close to time, and then hopefully we'll be able to share. So I'm gonna play this song and I'll be back with you guys at 3:30 on the dot. Okay. So, who would like to share what they wrote, what they're writing through, and what healing looks like?
I'll go with healing. What healing looks like.
Uh-huh. It was such a short time, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. So, good for you. What healing looks like, Cindy?
healing looks like me walking independently. No walker, no wheelchair, no brace, no nothing. Me
Amen.
drive. I knew you know that. Me driving to Alhambra Beach on a beautiful day in my BMW with the top down.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, I can totally relate to that. And I would love to drive my car. Right now, my family's driving me around in my car, and I just can't
It's not
stand
the same.
it. Yeah. Becky, do we have time for one more? I see one in the chat from Pamela. Can I read that? Okay. Pamela M is sorry. Okay, just was looking at some other ones that came in too. Okay, Pamela M is just diagnosed with DCIS, which is ductal carcinoma in situ, which is breast cancer. It's usually considered stage 0, but good thing she caught it when she did, because it can lead to a more aggressive type of breast cancer. So that happened over Labor Day weekend. Still trying to wrap my head around. Didn't really hit me until appointment with plastic surgeon. I hold stuff in and actually had panic attack 2 nights ago. I don't know what healing looks like with the mastectomy or feels like. Grateful is DCIS and curable. Awesome, Pamela. Well, I wonder, she's getting a mastectomy. She doesn't know what healing looks like. Well, that would be some homework to do, is to think about your new normal. I was surprised that life basically is wonderful for me. I've not stopped doing anything. I've always been a YOLO type of person, and I've just done everything I've wanted to do. I'm not sure what your breasts look like, but if you get a pretty good surgeon, they can get you something that looks pretty good. And I'm not sure if you're getting a double mastectomy or not, but this journaling will be good for you because it is a loss. And so you will be grieving the life you had before if you're going to have to go through a lot of treatment. I don't know if that's the case, but the journaling will be very beneficial for you during this time. Reach out to me anytime, Pamela, if you have questions or need a referral or anything like that. I would be happy to speak with you. And LaShawn Harris said, healing looks like no longer being a victim, but the victor. Woo! That is awesome. And Arlette said that she is fighting back tears too. She was emotional. So, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to fight them. Let them out. Let your tears out. So, and lastly, Maria said, very stressful, horrible experience with family members during this health crisis. Inner peace is so welcome. And that is awesome. Okay, Becky. Thank you everyone for joining me. I have some contact information I can share with you.
Yes, I will drop your info in the chat again if anyone wants to reach out.
And then I do writing through it every third Sunday. I've been doing it now. Here is my writing through it. Our next one is this Sunday coming up. And then my memoir is available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold. You can find it. If you want a signed copy, you can go to karlaliving.com/shop and I will sign one for you and get it in the mail. And you can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and YouTube at Karla Living is my handle. On Facebook, it's at Karla Living, the number 2 at the end. Everywhere else is at Karla Living. And I have enjoyed journaling with you guys today. And I just hope that this was an awesome experience for you guys and that you will keep journaling.
Yes, and I just wanted to address some of these comments. So Elliston, I know we didn't get to go through the whole presentation, but we're going to send it out in the thank you email so you can look at the rest of it. And then also we absolutely want to have Karla back. So this is not the last time you're going to see her. And then
I have so much to share. I couldn't squeeze it in.
And then we're still getting some comments. Kim from Facebook says, I had a double mastectomy. I had very little pain. Oh, and we are survivors. So
yes, that's awesome. That was for Pamela.
And then just a lot of thank yous from everyone to you, Karla.
Thank you.
Does anyone else want to ask Karla a question?
Yeah, Karla, I want to know, are you still married to your husband?
No, you know what? We got divorced the second time.
Okay.
And unfortunately, he died of COVID August 11th.
Oh.
Yeah, and the not funny thing, but he wasn't very good of a caregiver or partner to me during breast cancer. And I wrote the memoir, and I think it really affected him. And so he became a nurse. And then that's how he got COVID at work, and he passed. Yeah. So he was really apologetic afterwards of how he treated me during that experience.
And you know what? We're going to stop